What's up everyone, welcome back here to the Megan Moves channel. Guys, in today's video I want to share with you something that is near and dear to my heart and something that I have really enjoyed starting to do since living on my own, and that involves taking solo trips to Disney World. So in this video I'm going to highlight some of the perks that come with taking a solo trip to Disney World and explain why you should book a solo trip for yourself. So let's go ahead and get on into it. So I recently became a Disney World annual pass holder at the beginning of this year, but when I became an annual pass holder, I didn't necessarily have friends or a group of people to go with me all the time. So instead of waiting for people to go with, I decided I might as well go ahead and take some solo trips. And that can be kind of an interesting or even intimidating thought to think of at first. But I have really enjoyed getting to take some solo trips. Sometimes I actually prefer it. And with that, let's go ahead and get into reason number one. The first reason why you should take a solo trip to Disney World is because you get to make all the decisions. You are in charge and you get to plan out your day as you want to. If you're traveling from out of state and you are staying in a hotel or something like that, you can decide when it is you want to wake up, when it is you want to go to the park, when you want to leave the park. If you are local and you're an annual pass holder like me, you can decide when you want to go to the park, how long you want to stay, what it is you want to do there. You have the flexibility to decide what it is you want to do, and you don't necessarily have to take into account the thoughts and opinions of people that you might go with typically. There's no need to wait for others, and there's no need to be held back by other members of your group for doing things that you might not necessarily be able to do otherwise. Say you want to wait in the long line for a ride, you can do that. Or say that the group you typically go with don't like to ride roller coasters, you're able to go and ride whatever it is you want to ride, and you have the flexibility to be able to do that. You have the ability to be able to change your plans, to alter your plans however you want, and you don't necessarily have to stick to a schedule or be as regimented as it might be when you have a group of people or a family that you typically travel with. Reason number two is that you can try new things. Say the group that you typically go with doesn't like to see all the characters all the time. Maybe they like to go and check out all the rides. You have the ability to go and spend time with some of the characters, get to do some meet and greets that you might not have been able to do in the past. Or when doing a solo trip, one of the things you can take advantage of that you might not be able to with a group or with a family is some of the after-hour events or some of the paid tours that you can take. It can get pretty pricey, and the price can definitely rack up if you have a family, and it might not be as doable having a group doing these paid events, but by yourself it's a lot more manageable, and you're able to take advantage of the whole event and the whole situation and really take in and experience the event to its fullest whenever you go solo. One thing that I like to do when going to the parks alone is I love going around and checking out all of the hidden details that Disney has in the parks, whether that's hidden Mickeys or some of the characters. I love seeing all of the hidden things and all of the little attention to detail that Disney has when it comes to their parks. Some of the Disney Easter eggs. I like getting to wander around and check out some of those hidden things that you might not find otherwise when you might be with a group rushing from ride to ride, or you might get caught up in the crowd. I like to go and try to check out the little things and take in all the details that Disney has to offer. Reason number three is one that I don't have a ton of experience with since I am local to Disney World, but say you're traveling from out of state to come and do a solo trip to Disney. You're able to decide where it is you want to stay. Say you typically come with your family and you might have to choose a hotel that is more geared towards kids, or it might have to be a cheaper hotel because you might have to get a family suite or something like that since you have more people. When you come and do a solo trip, you can decide where it is you want to stay. You can decide to stay at a hotel that you've never stayed at before or a resort you've never been to so you can experience it. Or if you want to come and choose a value resort or a less expensive resort or hotel, that's something that you get to decide. Remember, you are completely flexible and you have the ability to decide whatever it is you want to plan or whatever it is you want to schedule. And by coming and traveling to Disney, you can decide where it is you want to stay and how you want to go about doing that. Reason number four you should book a solo trip to Disney World is because you can decide to eat wherever and whatever it is you want. While being on Disney property, there's a ton of restaurants and food places to check out, and you have the ability to decide where it is you want to eat. Now, I typically, when I go to the parks, since I am able to go pretty often, since I am local, I like to typically bring my snacks and my meals with me to the park. So that's something you can do yourself as well. You can decide to bring some snacks with you, whereas if you go with some friends or a group of people, they might like to eat in the park and you might not necessarily want to do that. So you have the ability to go ahead and bring your food with you, or you can go ahead and check out all of the dining options that are available in the park or outside of the park. I've heard that it is often a lot easier to get a reservation for some of their dining restaurants and areas if you are a single person. And this is also really good because it allows you to be flexible, like I've talked about before. Say you're hanging out at the park, you don't necessarily know where you want to eat, so you can go ahead on your My Disney Experience app and see if there's any availability, and it's going to be a lot easier for you to get in as a solo person rather than having a group of people, like 5 or 6 people, trying to get a reservation to one of Disney's restaurants or dining options. And the last but absolutely not least reason that you should book a solo trip to Disney World is that you can take advantage of those single rider lines. This is another reason why I love getting to go to Disney World on some solo trips, is because I can take advantage of those single rider lines. And a lot of the rides that have single rider lines tend to be rides that have a longer wait time or standby line. Guys, there was one time that I was able to ride Smuggler's Run and Galaxy's Edge at Hollywood Studios 5 times in a row, back to back, in an hour, when during that time I would have still been waiting in the standby line. I believe the line was about an hour and a half at the time, but I was able to ride the ride 5 times back to back in the amount of time that I still would have been waiting in the standby line if I would have been with a group of people or a friend. But instead I was able to take advantage of that single rider's line, and I was able to get on and really make the most of my time that I had in the park. So when you take some solo trips, you can definitely take advantage of those single rider lines and be able to maximize your time in the park. So these are 5 reasons why you should book a solo trip to Disney World. I know it can be a little bit intimidating or kind of weird to think about going to Disney on your own, but for all the reasons that I've shared, they're all reasons that I really love getting to go and do some solo trips at Disney World. I know for myself personally, I've really enjoyed the times that I've gotten to go by myself. I'm able to really experience the park in a different way and take it in as I want to personally and experience it as I want to personally. So you really get that flexibility of deciding what you want to do, what you don't want to do, and you can really allow it to be an enjoyable time for yourself so you can enjoy Disney World as much as you would like. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it informational and insightful, and maybe encourages you to think about the idea of planning a solo trip for yourself to Disney World. If you liked what you saw today and are interested in keeping up on some travel content or future Disney tips that I like to share, be sure to subscribe to my channel and give this video a like to keep up to date on all the videos that I will be uploading. But thanks so much again for checking this video out, guys. Let me know in the comment section below if you are thinking about taking a solo trip or if you have ever taken a solo trip before to Disney World. Thanks again, guys, and we'll see you next time.